jealous father here, and this is my holy sanctuary. This is where I live.
Right.
And you're worshiping other idols. You've brought it in, and his heart is broken over that.
Yeah.
And he says, who else's heart is broken?
Yeah.
Like, what have they done to the house of God? I can't believe they've done that. And so the people that are saved in this story
Right.
are the people who are upset about what God is upset about.
Right.
Who are sad about what God is sad about. Mm-hmm. And I can remember thinking, I want a mark on my head. I want that mark.
Right.
And what's so great about that is the verse that we just read in Ephesians. There is a mark. We do have a mark.
Right.
And the mark is the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And the verse in Ephesians that we just read, 1:13 says, in Jesus you also, when you heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, and believed in Jesus, were sealed with the promised Holy Spirit. And some versions say were marked.
My version says
Does
marked.
your verse say marked? Yeah, NIV I think says marked. You were marked with the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And that to me, I don't know, that to me is what separates us. Mm-hmm. If you have the Holy Spirit in you, you are marked. Right. You are marked with the Holy Spirit. You are God's chosen, and no one can touch you. Romans 8:9 says, anyone who does not have the Spirit of Christ does not belong to him. And that's
right.
how God knows. Yeah. If you have the Spirit in you, you belong to Christ. If you don't, you don't.
Right.
And you're not protected.
Yeah.
So I just...
And this says, having believed, you were marked.
Yes. It's not, you don't do anything.
Right.
You just believe and accept what Jesus has done for you. Mm-hmm. And then you're marked. Well, you get the gift of that Holy Spirit. And the way you know if you have that Holy Spirit is by the fruit that the Spirit brings into your life. So I just think that, again, is a confidence. You were saying one of the blessings is that we can know. Mm-hmm. He tells us and he gives us that marking. We can have the marking. We read in Revelations last time when he was talking to the church, but Revelations also talks later about a mark.
Right.
And people think of that as a scary marking of the beast or something, but we that have the Holy Spirit are marked.
Yes.
And that is a blessing. But even though we're marked by the Spirit, Paul also says later in 1 Thessalonians 5:19, we can quench the Spirit. Mm-hmm. We don't want to quench the Spirit, so we have to be careful. And I think sometimes we don't mean to quench the Spirit, but we're distracted and we're numb to the things around us, and we're not aware of the promptings of the Spirit. So I think it's up to us to remember that the Spirit is our comforter. It's our teacher. Romans 8:14 says that all those who are led by the Spirit are children of God. So we need to be aware to let that Spirit lead us. It's a powerful, powerful gift that God has given us, and we don't need to miss it.
Thanks for listening and journeying with us on this side of the ceiling. See you next time.